Welcome back, guys. We are here with Centennial, the Patriots. We're going to talk a little bit about their season, what that's going to look like. If you guys want to take a second to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, my name's Chad Anderson. Coaching over at Centennial now. Coaching for I don't know, across 10 years or so now, and fortunate enough to work with guys like Tanner and the Patriots. Looking forward to it.
My name is Tanner Chung. I've been playing for Centennial for 4 years. Um, I'm an LSM, so just excited to finish out the senior year and see how this year goes.
Cool. Right on, guys. So this is your first year with the program, correct?
It is, yes.
Yeah. So where were you before?
My son was out at Mountain View, so I coached for 4 years out at Mountain View, and
Cool.
then spent some time out at CUNA with some of the guys you had in here before. It's great to see those guys
Hmm.
flourishing. Seniors, I can't believe it. Time flies. And then my son went to play at College of Idaho, so I spent 4 years chasing around the country and watching the Yotes. That's done, and get back into lacrosse.
Nice. That's awesome. We got in the notes here, rebuild and return to a winning culture, establishing standards and consistency under a new coaching staff, and laying the foundation for long-term success. What is that going to look like for you guys and with the new coaching staff as well?
Well, I think any program kind of ebbs and flows, and let's not forget Centennial won the championship Tanner's freshman year, correct? And so, uh, players and parents and boards really help make up the program.
Hmm.
And as some of those players have graduated out, we've got some new players in, and I think the consistency has just lacked a little bit. So what we want to do is come in and set those expectations that in order to win, you need to do things a little bit differently, right? And I come from a program at Mountain View where those 4 years I was there, they were very successful. And I learned from a lot of those coaches. You know, back to back championships. The last JV championship that they had was one at Mountain View, and it was hard work showing up on time for practice, being at practice, and putting in the time and effort. And I think this last week was our first week of practice. One of the questions I ask is, put your hand up if you want to win. Everybody does that, obviously. Now put your hand up if you're willing to do what it takes. Interestingly enough, everybody did that. But now we have to walk it like we talk it, right?
Hmm.
Now we have to get through the season and that grind, and we'll see how they do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 2023 state champs, and getting back to that is definitely in the sights for you guys. What is that gonna take, like on a just a like day-to-day basis for practices and whatnot?
Sure. I think it takes belief. You got a new coaching staff coming in. I wasn't there the last few years. It seems like it was a little more lackadaisical and not as serious. That's not me. That's not the way we're going to proceed. And so it's as a coaching staff getting to know the players, and the players getting to know the coaching staff. You know, we've got to earn their trust. But in this week of practice we've had, there's flashes of it, right? We can see it. I think we lost a lot of players last year that were um, big contributors. Connor, you need a score, give it to Connor and let him score. Well, we have less of that. So now we have to play better as a team. And we need to do a better job with that. But we have, Donnie, we got Ollie at defense, even Wesley, man. Love to see him back out there and helping us out. But we have the foundation there. And offensively, we have Sauce and we have Luke and then a bunch of younger kids. So it starts with that core
Hmm.
and get them comfortable with us, understand what they can and cannot do, and building a game plan around that.
Yeah, definitely. Tanner, I got your stats here. 71 ground balls, 13 takeaways, and this one is the most notable, 0 penalties last year. Um, that's just very impressive. And what does that uh, like mean to be like a penalty-free player? How does that help out your team? And do you try and kind of instill that into other players too for discipline?
Yeah, I mean, being Centennial hasn't always had the greatest record of having a bunch of like a amount of players, not a JV team. Like we don't have multiple teams. I feel like we can't afford having players in the penalty box and being in those man down situations. And I feel like as a player who's pretty important when it comes to, transitional
Hmm.
and defensive play, being out of the field and having, giving that disadvantage to my team where we're down a player isn't something like we can afford. So I just try to instill that into other players. You know, throw clean checks, uh, like keep your mouth quiet, not try to talk too much crap, and just be a good player. So I just think penalties are like it's a part of lacrosse, but trying to have none is definitely something important because it definitely gives you an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Also got on here that you're committed to Utah Tech. If you want to talk about that, what it takes to get there to play at that next level, and kind of how you got there.
Yeah, so I started playing lacrosse when I was a freshman. Just wanted something in the off season for football.
Hmm.
I actually started like fell in love with it. We won state my freshman year. I started playing club, True Idaho.
Yeah,
Towards the end of my junior year, decided I wanted to try to play collegiate. I got recruited by Utah Tech a little bit and went down there on a visit and loved the area, loved the school, great facilities, great coaching staff. I'm just really excited to go down there and continue like be able to play this game for 4 or 5 more years. And it's
yeah,
just doesn't really matter where I play. I just knew I wanted to continue playing this
hmm
game because I just wasn't done with it.
yeah, definitely. And as a senior, leadership is so important on teams. What does that look like for you? Um, like your practices and games.
I think it just comes for accountability, keeping your players accountable, making sure people are showing up to practices, showing up to games,
Hmm.
being early to practices, just and ready, not coming in late. I think with leadership, it also comes for just making sure people are doing what they're supposed to on and off the field. It just comes with consistency in practice. Like you're not going to be able to win games and have a winning season and accomplish things you want to if people aren't showing up to practices and doing what they're supposed to.
Hmm.
So I feel like with that leadership aspect, I can have that like approach, like because a lot of my teammates are my friends. It's hey, come on, let's get out here. Like before we started, this was our first week of coaching practices, but we've been doing player ran practices on Saturday mornings and throughout
Nice.
the week for the last 3 months.
Hmm.
And it's just kind of comes from getting guys out there, making sure balls are in sticks and throwing around, and just getting things done. So
Yeah.
I just think it comes with like, being a program we're trying to rebuild and regrow and get more and more guys out. It comes with like, there's only so much a coach can do where he says, hey, get out here, rather than get your friends out there
Yeah.
and have that sort of leadership. So
Gotcha.
If I could add to that,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think what it's only been a week I've been around Tanner, but he leads by example, and he shows everybody what it's like to be a senior and a great teammate. So
Hmm.
Utah Tech will be lucky to have him.
Yeah. Another question about um, playing college ball. What are you doing to prepare? Because it's a pretty big jump in pace of play. What are you doing to prepare to go into playing college ball next year?
yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter like the level, like MCLA D1, D2, D3.
Mhm.
I've like if you go and watch a college game, it's a big jump from high
Yeah.
school. Hit harder, run faster, everything's a bit different. So I've just been trying to like, train hard at practice, do my own things outside of practice, whether it's hitting the wall or footwork,
Hmm.
hitting the weight room, going to PT, watching what I eat. So I
Yeah.
just need to it just comes with there's a different level, and I'm just trying to get myself as prepared as I can so I can make an impact next year going up playing against, 21,
Yeah.
22-year-old grown men rather than a
Yeah.
kid coming out of high
Right.
school. So it just kind of comes with like knowing what you're getting yourself into and being ready for that, like being ready to hit that.
Hmm. Definitely. I think it's a really good answer. Um, I got a question for a coach here. Um, what does it mean to like returning to a winning culture? Like what does that mean for you guys right now?
I think what that means, first, the first building block is having the players believe in the coaching staff and the vision that we have to get them back to that. And then second, the buy-in that we need. And then third, it gets to be a little contagious. Everybody can see success, as long as we're better today than we were yesterday, we have something to build from. And with that success comes other interests, other people wanting to come out and play. And ultimately, having a galvanized team that everybody gets along and has fun,
Hmm.
winning and losing is about the guy next to you and understanding what it takes to be a great teammate. That's the foundation that we're trying to lay. In conjunction with that, we would love to see what we can do about getting some of the younger players. We got a lot of younger players up and coming up and helping us out. So what can we do to get that farm system built and be involved with IMSLA so that we can continue to grow the program and really fill every year, not look to rebuild, but look to reload.
Nice. Yeah. And kind of digging into that deeper, like what are some of the standards that you think are most important to establish like really early on in the season as you're coming in?
Sure. Our first meeting with the team, there's 4 things that we want to focus on, and we asked them to keep in mind every day. And that is first off is effort, max effort at practice. How you practice is how you play.
Mhm.
Second, be coachable. You have a new coach coming in, it's a little bit different perspective. The more coaches you have, the more perspectives you see, and then you make something your own. And third, be a great teammate. It's easy to push the guys down. Reach your hand out and pick them up off the ground and help them out. Let them know. Flush that one. Bad call. We'll get them next time. And then the last one, focused. Focus at practice. We get 2 hours a day to check out. We don't have to worry about schoolwork or home or parents or girlfriends. We can just focus on ourselves and our teammates for 2 hours a day. And taking advantage of that is critical.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and I got a question for you, Tanner.
Mhm.
So you're a senior, you've been there for 4 years now. What are some highlights or moments that you really enjoyed um, throughout your time there?
Definitely like coming to my freshman year, not really knowing like what the sport was and like how to do anything. Having those upperclassmen, kids who go on to play at the next level or other people like that, taking me under their wing, showing me like what it's about and like really giving me
Mhm.
that good first impression. And that's kind of what I want to do is, we have eighth graders or freshmen coming in and I want them to feel that welcome that
Mhm.
I felt, from the
Yeah.
upperclassmen. So it's an environment that they want to return to. Um, I guess some highlights are like, winning state and like my sophomore year, we went to semifinals. Just being able to play a game and having 2 hours a day for 3 months, like with some of my best friends
Yeah.
playing the game I love. So I built some great friendships through lacrosse, whether that was club or school. And it's just some friendships and some relationships I'll have for a long time. So those are some of my highlights. It's definitely the relationships I built with people
Mhm.
and coaches and other players that it's just like it's something that you'll love forever. So
Awesome. Yeah. I got a question for Coach now. What does progress look like in like the early phases of the season?
I think progress is understanding the players and what they respond to from our coaching perspective, and then building those practice plans around it to ultimately lead to a solid game plan. And that's what this first week has been all about. Them feeling me out, me feeling them out, so that next week when we get back out on the field, uh, that's when the progress really starts.
Nice. Yeah. What are you most excited for this season and the foundation that you're building? What are you really looking forward to?
The the players that I've seen out there, we're starting to see flashes of this, of their ability and what they're capable of. And frankly, I don't think they give themselves enough credit for what they are doing out there on the field. And so for me, I want to build that confidence for them so they can see it, but then take it to the next level and push through. And if we're challenge them in practice and then challenge them to be better, they can prove to themselves that they absolutely can be better, and that's gonna give us a positive result on the field come game day. If we're down, we can fight through it and we can figure it out. But they got to start that belief process.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and another question about that is, what do people outside of the program kind of misunderstand, or maybe don't see the same way, um, coming in as a new coach? And yeah, what do people misunderstand about that?
Well, I think one of the things intrigued me about Centennial is the parents. Whether being at Mountain View, those parents traveled to watch their kids play lacrosse or football or basketball, and that community around there. Um, uh, they should know that um, as a coaching staff, we're excited to be there. We want to be there, and we want to help these kids excel and do great. And all the support that they've provided over the years doesn't go unnoticed. and we look forward to seeing more of that as we get through the season.
Looks like we got a question in the crowd.
Got a question out here in the stands. First of all, thanks for making time today. And this one's for Tanner first. As a defensive parent, you got to get in the box once this year. It's senior year. I know maybe this is a record you're trying to set, but it's killing me that you haven't been out here yet. So if you were to go into box, what team would it be? Make it worthwhile. Just to dig here a little bit.
What team would it be?
Yeah, sure. Or player. If you're
Oh,
gonna match up this year, let's hear
Talon Edwards, Cuna,
it.
Cuna.
Talon happens to be here right now.
That's one of my good friends I've made through club, but there's always been some chirping going back and forth, and he thinks he can dodge on me and beat me. I mean, it's never really worked in game or in practices, but if he wants to try, I mean, I guess I could go in the penalty box for that, but
We'll save it for the field. But yeah. And then as far as getting an extra, as far as leaving it on the field as a senior, you've, for one, I have to say you've handled yourself with incredible stature here during this interview. What is it that you're actually, one thing you want to leave behind for the next folks?
I'd like to leave there's like a standard, if that makes sense. Like I played football and there's always been that standard that a player's held to, whether that's like attendance or respect. And I want to leave like with Centennial there being a constant standard of attendance and respect and how you should act on and off the field and how you should treat your teammates and how you should treat your opponents. I'd like to leave that example that kind of goes down like, how upperclassmen showed me that way. I'd like it just to continue on.
And then I have one for Coach, more of a comment, but I think it takes an incredible brave person to come into a new program, new coaching staff, and there's some grace that should be allowed for these folks to come in and help make a difference in these young players' lives. And I'd like to commend you for doing so, and thank you for your efforts. And I'm excited to see what Centennial can do.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. So, oh, wait, are we? Oh,
We're getting
okay,
close.
cool. One more question is like why have you not been in the penalty box?
Okay. So, um, I mean, I've been in a penalty box before.
Oh, so you have it.
I have
Okay,
before,
okay.
but last season I wasn't at all. I think I really like my sophomore year and freshman year, I was in the penalty box sometimes, but I think last year I really like controlled my checks, made, instead of just kind of swinging my stick around, I made them more controlled. Um, I don't know. I just never. I didn't even know I didn't have any penalties for the last year. And my coach was like, "Hey, you didn't have any penalties this year." I was like, "Okay." So I think it just comes with like more experience. So it's just learning like when it comes to that side of things. So
May I comment on this? Yeah, please. So I think, Tanner's worried, he's going to have to come off the field and he is a contributor out there. So I got, two things as a coach I've got to do. One, we got to build a team around him so he trusts that if he's out of the game and in the penalty box, we're going to do just fine. And two, we want to let him go, let him play, let him run, have some fun, push the envelope a little bit. And it's okay to scare some of these attackmen or middies. No offense with the people in the room present, but it's okay to do that. So tear it up, Tanner. Tear it up.
Tear it up. All right. Centennial's heading into this season focused on reloading, not rebuilding, installing new systems, and getting into that championship culture again. I just want to say thank you to you guys for coming out and doing this with us. This was a blast.
Yeah, thanks for having us out here.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you guys.